So we've talked about music, we've talked about content, and we've talked about regulation. And every time we do, one name comes up. You know who it is? Dr. Ezekiel Mutua. So we got him to be a guest on Takeout Kings, Edition 4. Hey guys, welcome to Takeout Kings. This is Edition 4. Really good to have you joining us. This is our conversation where we talk everything pop culture, and we do it as we sample some of Nairobi's finest takeout. I want to start and tell us really quickly who's on the show today. Coming back on the show is Mr. Eric THIMBA, entrepreneur, guy who has a finger on the pulse of what's going on in the city through MOOC.com. So it's good to have him here. Returning as well, we've got LYNDA NYANGWESO. LYNDA, she's media darling, presenter on KISS FM. What's the name of the show?
KISS FM, it's the KISS Drive.
The KISS Drive on KISS FM, so you can catch her on that. LYNDA NYANGWESO. We've got two special very guests who are joining us for the very first time on Takeout Kings. I'm excited about that. On my extreme right, ladies and gentlemen, drum roll please, is Mr. Richard Njau, otherwise known as A-Star. The light that, what's the phrase, the light that?
I like the leads. Hey, that's
digital enabler, one of the biggest digital evangelists that I know. So it's really good to have him here. And for the very first time on Takeout Kings today, ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only, Dr. Ezekiel Mutua, CEO, Kenya Film and Classification Board.
Kenya Film Classification Board.
Kenya Film Classification Board.
Yes.
So it's really good to have you here.
Thank you.
So welcome to Takeout Kings.
Sunday.
What we do is as I mentioned, we've got conversations going on.
Too much food.
And absolutely, food is a big part. So LYNDA.
We came to eat.
Yeah, we did. LYNDA, tell us a bit about what we're having today and what Mutua, the delivery guy, brought us.
Today for sure, this is one of my faves. It's Nyama Mama. Nyama Mama takes Kenyan food and completely just takes it to a whole new level. They're located, their two main branches are right now in Delta Towers, and then there's one in Capital Center that is such a vibe, you must go there. And of course, they brought a lot of nyama, so that's dope.
Yes, Mama.
I'll take it. And everything looks great.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Nyama Mama, who coming through on Takeout Kings Edition 4 this time around. So, guys, I want to get straight into it, and please feel free. You can have your meal, have your drink, have whatever you need as you go along. Dr. Mutua, it's really good to have you here.
Thank you.
I thought it was good for you to be able to experience what content creators and what digital creators, content creators kind of go through.
Yeah.
So having you on the show
you go through a lot of hassle to
put everything together. Yeah, it's well worth it. It's well worth it.
But this food is very good.
It is.
Yeah.
Thank you, Nyama Mama, one more time. So I want to ask you, and the thing is, we just have conversation. I want to ask you, so you're one person who's probably in the news and in the media more than most people.
Oh, I thought you were going to say for the wrong reason.
No.
I was.
She was. And we'll get there. But
I'm used.
But I want to ask you.
That.
I want to ask you, and I'm sure you have. And you see on the news and whatnot. And I want to ask you, why do you do what you do? Because for me, I'm just like the amount of abuse, the amount of just negative venom and all of that comes your way. I'm just like, why?
Bullying.
Yeah, I know. It's serious cyberbullying.
Cyberbullying. I'm telling you. Yeah.
Why?
Conviction. Conviction about the importance of values in society. Because David, if we lose it at the point of values and the point of morality, nothing else works. Any society that has ever progressed, they first sorted their moral foundation and agreed to have a set of rules, do's and don'ts, expected societal norms. And it's on the basis of that moral foundation that they build their nation. Talk of the Asian tigers, Singapore, Malaysia, South Korea. Any nation that has ever progressed, including the United States of America, they have documents that they speak about that speak to the ethos and the foundation of their faith, of their belief in God, of their belief in rights, liberty, the right to life, the right to liberty, including the right to happiness, whatever you perceive happiness to be. Those are their That's their foundation.
Can I ask about your conviction? A lot of what you said to me, my perception is that most of the way you police media and how people can put out their arts is based on your own personal possession, not really. It just seems like what you feel about it. It seems very personal.
There's an element of that, Linda, yeah.
Yeah, but I think that's where I differ with you, because I honestly believe that, yes.
The conviction is personal.
However, that's not your job to pastor us.
But you don't have to follow.
But we do. But we do. When you ban movies and you ban art, we do have to follow. We have no choice.
Now,
You've been put
if
in
you
a position
talk about the
of power.
banning, then it has to be legal. If it really affects you, it has to be legal. And Kenya is so litigious, and we have such a good constitution, Linda, that if we were to do anything unconstitutional, look, when we banned the film Rafiki, Wanuri Kayu took the decision to go to court, and we're in court.
Yes.
I mean, that's okay. So you cannot stay there like you are helpless.
How do you keep your job when everything is based on your own personal convictions
It's not
and
my
not
personal.
really?
So maybe the question, is when we see things like banning and things like that, maybe the question that we're trying to figure out is, what is that based on? And she's asking, is that based on constitution and office,
or
is it
just
based
how you
on-
feel about
That's
it?
what she's
we are
Because
asking.
like even you mentioned earlier about the whole like George and David can't be a family. That's fine. That's your own personal opinion.
It's
But-
not personal. It's also in the law.
No, but something like that. I think I'm just using that as an example because it's something you guys brought up.
By the way, just in case you got me wrong, Linda, look, I am talking about conviction in executing my mandate, which is based on the law.
Okay.
So, because there could be another CEO who is not as passionate.
True.
But the same laws exist. It's not like I founded KFCB.
Yes.
It was founded in 1930.
No, my question is,
So it's a
where is that?
conviction
Where is that
in
middle?
articulating those issues.
Where is that
it's not in
place?
it's not in the pontificating or
Let's
putting
hear.
my own.
What's your thought?
My perception is this. Not my perception, my thoughts are this. First and foremost, I believe that there's a silent minority, silent majority that I am part of. That there's a majority that makes noise and always attack. And there's a vocal majority that attacks you. What you'll be very shocked is I'm part of the silent minority. I actually believe in what it is that you are trying to do. I am what you call one of the fans behind you, the people who are pushing you. Because what I stand for, and let me say, what I stand for.
Seriously, on a serious note, I appreciate.
Yes, because in 2008, I came up with this campaign called Clean the Airwaves. Because I went around.
You're the one.
Yes,
He's the Richard Njau with Cleaning the Airwaves.
And let me break it down. I went around and because I would go to high schools, and as a musician, I would understand the influence and power that I have in shaping agenda, in passing an agenda, in shaping minds. So I began to understand that media is so powerful that it sort of needs a policing. But what I did is then secondly go to every single media house and station to understand from Kiss FM, to understand how does music get played? What does it take to get music played on all of these things? So I understood that. So first and foremost, I 100% support you. I've got 2 girls. I do believe that country sort of needs policing so that some morals can be enforced. Where I feel you can do better, I'm not going to call it a failure. Where I feel like you can do better is pushing it more to be about the body so that we can understand the constitution.
To be about
the Kenya Film Commission Board. Even the fact that we can't articulate it, all of us, very well, but everybody can say Dr. Ezekiel Mutua.
One of the things I don't do, I don't attend any interviews where I'm misrepresented and I'm present. So I will have to correct that.
Go ahead.
It's not about me. I've just given Linda the example of the film Rafiki. Where we are going, or somebody feels aggrieved, we have a process.
There's a mechanism.
As a matter of fact, the way we rate films, there's an appellant system where people can even appeal to the minister for the time being. To the minister. They can even say, the Kenya Film Classification Board has rated my film this way. I do not agree, and appeal to the minister. We don't have a single case. Okay, number one. But like I said, and I want you to understand, the name is
Richard Njau.
Richard, I talked about conviction in executing the mandate, not personal. And so that is very important to make it clear. And,
no, I get that, yes.
Yeah, and the KFCB is established by law. We follow the law and we engage a lot. It only happens because of the nature of the CEO that the CEO is more
vocal.
It happens, not just with me. Dr. James Mwangi is equity. Michael Joseph was Safaricom for the longest. Bob Collymore was Safaricom. I mean, there are institutions that their personalities will always define the institutions. It is not because they are going against the ethos or the values of doing business. So it's very important to understand. Still, the basis is the law. It is the law. So we follow the law. And where we differ, we end a conversation with Wanuri even before we went to court. And we agreed there's a problem here. Let's seek redress in court.
Nobody understands what happens between the part where the artist or whoever puts out their content, and then all of a sudden we see you on Twitter on fire, banning everything, because that's what it looks like from the outside.
Absolutely.
So I'd like to see what
and
is the process.
That's a challenge, Linda, because the level of ignorance, even among journalists who should know. And I always ask the question that my former boss, Wilfred Kiboro at The Nation, used to ask us when I joined The Nation. He was saying you must read, you must be educated, you must be informed.
Must be exposed.
Because how do you educate when you're not educated? How do you inform when you're not informed? For example, there is a law called Films and Stage Plays Act, Cap 222 of the laws of Kenya. That's my Bible. Everything that we do is in Cap 222. And we regulate films at 5 levels, from the level of creation to the level of broadcasting, exhibition, distribution, and even possession. And it is in that law. And it says no film shall be made in Kenya without a filming license from KFCB.
I understand, but
you
I'm talking
find guys
about
out there,
online content.
Yeah. No, even online distribution doesn't say only.
What platform
exactly. It is distribution. And when we were moving to the digital migration in 2014, the president appointed a task force chaired by some very prominent lawyers. Abdikadir was there, but there were other prominent lawyers to look at the relevance of these laws and the boards. And some boards were merged. We were even given more powers. But this point I wanted to make, Linda, that according to Cap 222, anybody making films, and the film in that law is defined as anything audio-visual. Okay?
So whether it's
a music, or any platform in Kenya, in the Kenyan territory, and that's the way it works even in our neighboring countries. So you must obtain a filming license, then you go to the field, do your content, then when you upload it, before you upload it, we rate it. Okay? But we said, because we are still experiencing the beauty of digital migration, we don't want YouTube content creators who have to submit or to obtain a filming license. All we're asking them is, please apply these rules. And we gave general guidelines. And we said we will work with Google when there's offensive material like Pigwa Shoka Song or Taka Taka, we ask them to bring it down. And that's the kind of recognition we are getting from Google as trusted flaggers, that we can flag out certain content.
A lot of things that people also don't know. I worked at YouTube. I worked at Google. It was my job. There were 4 YouTubers when I started working as a YouTube enabler in this country. My job was to go around getting people, educating them about the platform so that they can then start using it. And of course, now what a lot of people don't know, not only are you doing your job, but let me say this. There's a whole floor at YouTube in America, but all they do is bringing down videos. That's why on YouTube you will never see porn.
And let me ask you.
Let me add on to that.
Based on what?
There's values that they have. There's things that they've said. For example, there's no pornography allowed on the platform.
Yeah,
absolutely.
A whole floor. And you will never find it. It's not because it's not being uploaded. It's because there's a police that is stopping it very effectively at the door.
And you know, Rich,
there's some kind of adverts that are not allowed also on the platform. This is my biggest challenge to you. Sitting down, coming here to sit down here. I just think your PR on your own can be a bit better. You see, this conversation here is excellent in showing me about your background, showing me about your history, about your passion. Those things, that's why I came to Mavuno, to listen to you and be like, okay, this guy is...
I would say this, and let me chime in.
But have you understood what it is I'm trying to say? I'm like...
You know, I've been the best at the top PR man for the government for many years.
But not to a certain demographic. For example, I can guarantee you between the ages of 18
Richard, let me clear it. First of all, I have read everything there is in terms of theory and practice. I'm the best PR person this country has. Fact.
To a certain demographic.
You know, you can't please everybody all the time. Let me tell you, what happens, the guys who are resisting, actually that resistance makes them understand. If you really mean business and you're opposed to something because you have a passion or you think it's killing your business, actually you read more about it and you tend to understand it. So I don't want people who agree with me all the time. I am a communications person. Do you know I was the consultant for Uhuru Kenyatta when he was running for 2002 for 7 months, one-on-one. I've consulted for president. So in terms of the PR, I know where I'm coming from. And I'm a 50-year-old man. I'm not a young person. So what we are saying is...
Content creator doesn't have a demographic.
We started with this point at KFCB, that no publicity is bad publicity. That is the philosophy that you need to know. You may not understand it because you can't face the flags that we take. But me, every time I see a negative article, I'm so happy because it generates debate.
That's why you're here.
How do you think? Tell me, how do you think we managed to raise an organization whose annual budget was 88 million in 4 years ago? You know, we are among the few government agencies that are recruiting now. On 4th and 5th, and I think 6th, I'll be recruiting very senior managers. We advertise publicly. We are promoting people. I have been doing letters until my hands are tired, promoting, putting them on permanent and pensionable basis. I don't need PR, Wamlambez. I don't need that. I don't need some young generation, because there will always be, there are two forces in the world, Richard. There is God and there is the devil. There is light and there is darkness. There is good and there is evil. You can't be liked on both sides. You cannot be a soldier and you're liked by this side. No, you can't. So I am very clear on what I want to achieve. They called Jesus Christ, they said he was possessed by a demon. After seeing him healing the sick, feeding the hungry, and helping the poor, you must choose where you stand and what you fight for.
Hang on. Let me just this one.
Yes,
let me say this.
Okay. I was after doing the media tour in 2008, I was doing the same thing. I was like, don't play secular music. I went to all these stations, telling them, don't play secular music. Gospel is the answer. Don't play secular music. And I realized there has to be a reason as to why these stations do what they do. One of the things, in fact, my turning point was when I went to Kiss FM and I realized Maina Kageni doesn't force people to listen to these stations. They listen by their own accord.
That's a wrong narrative. I would rather go by what Linda is saying.
But let me go here.
Maina should be jailed. Maina should be jailed and the keys thrown away.
This is what
watershed is watershed.
That's your personal opinion that you're imposing
it's watershed.
on audience.
It is in the law.
However,
how come they haven't been banned?
Again,
for doing what?
Banned.
It's people's opinion.
No, they just break the law.
When you talk about watershed,
they break the law with impunity, and they know you are driving your car you are taking your kids to school. Do you know even the school buses?
Policeman then.
I was being told the other day that school buses, I don't license school buses to have radios, but you find a school bus coming to pick kids at 5:30 in the morning, 6, and they're on Classic 105. Classic 105 is discussing about this lady like they were discussing on Wednesday last week, who's the husband who says, I know my wife has a boyfriend and I caught them red-handed, and so on and so forth. That kind of conversation during the watershed period, I told you there is devil and there is God. And some journalists just belong to the devil. They're just devil agents.
So why haven't you been able to ban them?
No, you don't ban them, because like now, my work is to rate content. Look, I told you the definition of film in Kenya, film. You see, you don't even understand simple things. The mandate is film, it's audiovisual. Audio on its own is not my job. In fact, here, in the programming code, they have just dragged us there so that radio becomes our purview, but we can only regulate radio in line with the programming code that belongs to another, which is donated mandate. Mine is audiovisual. Anything with the pictures and motion and sound, I'm there. So these other ones, we'll talk about it. We'll raise our voice. We'll say it's not right. Don't discuss sex. Don't discuss adult content during the watershed. I don't allow our kids to listen to this.
And I'm with you.
Because it normalizes.
Let me say, Richie.
I'm with you. Because he didn't let me finish my point.
That's what we're saying.
My point is actually a positive point.
Yes.
And this is what I'm trying to say. Sometimes the positivity in the manner in which you engage with people actually leads to change.
that you guys now focus more on classification, which I think is an important differentiation in the titles. So let me ask, we'll give Hollywood as an example. Okay, let's say I'm making a movie and I know for sure this movie should not be viewed by children under 18. Yeah, and that's the classification I go for because I know it has some portions
Maybe
of
sex
nudity,
scenes or-
maybe homosexual themes, maybe sexual themes in
maybe
general.
language.
And so I know that I'm making this movie. It is my art, but I know that the classification is for 18 and above, right? That works everywhere else in the world.
Yes.
But it seems like our classification board, unless it fits the general population and the general viewing,
GE.
yeah, GE, it doesn't work.
Linda needs a lot of explanation because she's so ignorant at heart.
No,
Let me tell
I'm
you.
not ignorant.
You know
I'm
why?
asking you questions that
No,
you're
we don't operate that
dodging
way.
because you're not asking questions directly.
Yo, what's up, people? My name is Eric THIMBA. Take Out Kings. Go check it out on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and be sure to subscribe right down here. Down here. Can you see the right there? Is it there? Can you see it? Can you? Please go subscribe. Leave your comments and subscribe. That's what's up.